guest in the studio, Shea Rubenstein. As a matter of fact, he came out with his new CD, Shea Plato. He's going to tell me in a few minutes what the words mean and everything like that, of where the songs come from. We have so many questions for him. And if you have a question, you can text us in at 347-927-8398. You can listen at calling 712-432-4217 or 718-506-9099 or on the J Radio app or on the Naki Radio. That's standing right so nicely by me. Anyways, I asked a riddle. I asked a question, parshat question. Why did Hashem say to Lavan, why did they do as the Mo, the Yaakov brothers? Anyways, so I asked that question last week. And if you want to advertise, you could email me at new Kishroni Hour. That's NEWKISHRONHOUR at gmail.com. Or you could text me 347-927-3279. And if you want to text us in or you want to listen, 712-432-4217. And you can also participate by calling 718-506-9099. That's to listen. And yeah, I believe we're ready for Shea's Rubenstein, and we're going to ask our questions that I had printed out so nicely over here. And, Shea, anyways, let's talk about
First of all, I would say that let me jump. Welcome, Shea, to our studio. It's not the first time that you are here, right?
Thank you, Reb Nissim, and thank you, Reb Moshe. It's an honor and a pleasure to be back in the studio.
Yes, and great. I know that you have a new CD right now, and Reb Moshe, it's you the microphone right now.
Yehuda?
No, it's your microphone.
My microphone. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, we know that the CD came out. How many weeks ago was this CD came out?
So this CD came out right for Hanukkah. It came out the Thursday before, so it's about 2 weeks, 2 weeks old or 2 weeks young.
2 weeks young. Wow. So how did you start off with the music? Number one, how did you start it off? What got you into it? What got you into singing? What inspired you to sing? So I know you wrote some songs yourself, right? How do you start that? What's the trick to this?
So first of all, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the wonderful J-Root Radio with Nissim and Maish. And second of all, before I start, tell me, which camera am I looking into? Is it the one straight ahead of me?
Right ahead.
Okay,
I don't know
wonderful.
If it's working. Nissim, is it working tonight?
Yeah, everything, Baruch Hashem, it's working. So
great.
So far, yes.
Okay, great. So, yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure to be back in the J-Root studio. I remember I was here before some of my concerts and last CDs.
How many years ago were you here?
So, that's a good question, but I'm not sure I want to tell you. It may make me sound old.
Oh.
But I've been here before. But I really do appreciate the opportunity. I started singing about 23 years ago. I was 17 years old, and I started singing. I became a chazan in the Bradley Beach, New Jersey shul. I think it was called Agod Sachem. So that's pretty much what started me off my career. And I went from there to some other shuls to be a chazan and a bal tefillah. I also was a chazan in Mexico for several years. And I put out my first album about 9 years ago called Ahavti. And I also put out.
I believe it had a song "Window in Heaven." No, that wasn't.
That's right. It had the famous "Window in Heaven," which had been, viewed since about 250,000 times. So that was a fantastic song. What's interesting is the song spoke to so many people just because it had a fantastic message, irrespective of my voice or of the production. People just loved the message that it gave. They always felt that they can connect to it. So I did that in many different concerts. The next CD I put out is this CD called Shirei HaPleita. And let's talk about Shirei HaPleita.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that
Go ahead, Nissim.
Jump up and down. I know, but this is a Kishroni hours, right? This is basically, I give us to our kids the feeling that they can do. That it seems like you started a little bit late, right? I can't, do you have the I know the talent before 17, or just you discover suddenly that you are really like to sing 17 years old? Just for our kids, all the Kishroni hours is basically to give our kids that all of us has a different talent. Everyone is, for us, for any kids, has a different talent. I know that I was a kid. I like to take apart stuff. This everybody also that I'm a little bit crazy. But talent, it's talent. Each one of us. So how you discover your talent, and what is give you the idea to come and singing all this?
That's a very good question, and thank you for that. So I started publicly singing at 17, but I did participate in choirs as I was a kid, as young as 10 and 11. So I definitely started my singing before, but I wasn't sure that that I wanted to do this, more professionally. And I do have an older brother who's a Baltfila, so when he pushed me, sometimes you need that person to push you. And when he pushed me, I said, you know what? Let me do Shachris on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. I'll do it for a small crowd out of town that doesn't necessarily know who I am. So in the worst case scenario, if something happens, it won't be the worst. And that's kind of what you need. Sometimes you need somebody to push you a little bit, and sometimes you have to listen to that little inner voice in you that says, "Give it a shot," because we all have talents. No one is standard. Nobody is just another one of 6 billion people. We all have our talent. We can either squash that little bug inside us that says, do it, or we can always, give it a shot. And as long as you're not afraid to fail, as the Gemara tells us, first of all, kol haschalot koshot, and also, ein habaishin lomed. So a person who's not embarrassed will learn. So you have the talent. You always wanted to do it. It's really time for you to do it. Now, you may have to perfect it. Maybe you want to be a musician, you want to play guitar, you want to speak in public, and you're not a professional. So there's no question that there's so many resources from, online courses and YouTube and mentors and speaking to people. For everything, there is always someone who can make you better at it. And, but ultimately, you have it, and you have to just push yourself just a little bit to want to come out of your box, and you'll succeed.
Well, that's I know that we have to along the hours, and we talk about the CD, but the question like this: how the parents, how your parents took it? How your parents, very important as a parents to see when they have a kid something talent, how they push it, how they doing it.
So that's a very good question. I think some parents naturally push the children, and the children are not interested, but it's what the parents think that they want for their child. But I think if you're a good parent, true to your children, you'll actually let them go after their own passion of what they want to do, not what you decided for them to do. Years ago, parents wanted their children to become a doctor, even if they didn't want to. I know I was trying to push one of my children to play guitar, and he said, Abba, I really don't want to do guitar. I like to do drums. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll buy you a drum set, and all I'm going to hear is banging and banging the entire evening. They say if you want a bad neighbor, buy your son a drum set. But then I came to the realization that if that's really what he wants to do, let him become a drummer. Let him have the talent of being a drummer, and perhaps he can use it in the future. So number one, as a parent, let your children pursue their own dream. Don't make your wanted dream their dream, and try to nurture your children's dream and your children's talent. So if they want to do something and you feel that you have the capability, help them develop it so they can bring it to fruition, and of course, give them the confidence.
Yeah, a very, very important message. And I want to the kids themselves, so many times you see, no, I'm adult now, but many times I see that a lot of adults, as you said, become professional, so professional because the parents and the environment just push them to do what they don't like. And then the end, basically, they're losing it. And the kids, if you feel that you really are into it, go consult your parents, consult your grandparents, consult teacher, rabbis. I'm sorry that.
Anyways, so now I can answer my last week's question since I got it open finally. So the answer to the last week's question, what did the brothers mean by V'chachsenu as the Moed? It wasn't last week, it was really a few weeks ago. And unfortunately, I wasn't here last week. And, well, one of the answers was, we'll hide his death. And number two, the practice of murderers was to hide the death. Therefore, Yehuda said, we're going to look like we're killing him indirectly. Even this will have a severe punishment. And this week's parshat's question. Now, if you know this question, let me know. And you'll be entered a raffle to win this brand new CD, Shea from Shea Rubenstein. That's sitting nicely right next to me. Anyways, the question is like this. It says Yaakov gave 2 brachas to Paro. Why did Yaakov give 2 brachas? We want to know, why did Yaakov give 2 brachas? It says he gave a bracha to Paro. Why did he give 2 brachas? The answer will be in the next show. And if you know the answer, you can text it in 347-927-8398. Unfortunately, I don't see it on the screen right near me, but hopefully Nisim gets the message. Or you can text me all week long, 347-927-3279. Or you can send your Mazel Tov right now to 347-927-8398. Or you can call the studio, 718-683-5858. Or you can send it to me during the week, 347-927-3279, or at newkishronihour@gmail.com. Anyways, yeah, so, please be mispal for Alexander, Zusha, Ben Eliza. And yeah, so Shea Rubenstein is here, and we were talking about his CD, Shara Playtime. We're also going to ask him some questions. When did you start playing the keyboard?
When did I start playing the keyboard? So, believe it or not, although I play chords and some other, I play, but I'm not a proficient keyboard player. I play guitar as well, but I'm also not a proficient guitar player. Most of what I do is actually singing.
So when did you start playing this? When was this? Is this when you're a young boy, when you're a small kid, when you're an adult?
So that's actually the irony. Going back to Nissim's question, I unfortunately did not start at a very young age. I touched the piano the first time, I think I was about 14 or 15 years old.
Oh, so you're still a kid then?
A kid, but not the same as when you start at 6 or 7. And then I didn't touch it again until I was about 23. So I think, starting late in life, it's true. There's nothing like starting when you're a kid. But yeah, so I definitely grasped onto it, but not as good as if I started at the right young age of.
See that, kids, if you start at a young age to start learning how to play an instrument, you're going to be able to know this for the rest of your life. So the same way with learning anything, if you start at a young age, and even if you don't get it, you're studying it over, let's say about 10 times, you're going to get it, and you're going to be retaining with you throughout your life. So which instruments do you play?
Oh, it's pretty much the guitar and the keyboard.
Keyboard, no violin, no flute, no kazoo. I know Elimelech Adler. He knows how to play the thing with his nose. And
he plays with the harmonica and the guitar at the
same time. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I actually did a concert.
He actually might come in a few weeks and explain to kids how to do that, because that's a pretty big talent.
That's great. I actually did a concert with him in Las Vegas a few years ago. It was a shul that called up. He had lived in Arizona at the time. And I came in from New York, so I reached out to him to play in Vegas and
so he plays with his nose harmonica.
Well, what he does is he has a harmonica and then he has a band around it, so that kind of holds it in place, and then he plays strumming the guitar.
Interesting. Is your family musical? Like, do you get these musical from your family? Like Shweki, I know Shweki's family is pretty talented and musical. Do you have?
So I do have one brother who is